So how did the 7-on-7s go for you?
It was cool.
What do you think about that?
They were cool. The Highlands one, it was a little more learning, but we had the tournament. It was cool. The tournament was cool.
Okay.
That was like the first time I felt like comfortable in the offense and like the defense.
Okay, because you got a new offense going, right? Because obviously
a
new coaching staff and everything.
Playbook,
so yeah, what's it been like getting adjusted to that?
Man, that's cool. You know, we call Coach Ray our OC. We call him the Wizard. But I love the offense, man. It's like it's really a lot of predicated around me. So I love it though. It's a lot of triple option action, and okay, I love it. And I'm just now
option guy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
I would say I feel like I'm more of a dual threat quarterback, so I like doing that too. But yeah, I like our offense. I'm just just getting comfortable with it, the terminology, how we're gonna call stuff, and then the plays, because it's a completely new offense,
All right, yeah.
I love it though.
Yeah, so you have to adjust that. But is it a little bit easier with your dad being the head coach, that you're able to? Does that kind of make things easier for you, transition, or is it a little harder because it's your dad, so he might be on you a little bit more?
Yeah, I would say it's easier just because I'm more comfortable with him. I mean, it's my dad, it's who I look up to, so I'm more comfortable, I guess, to play. I mean, and he's been my coach since I've been growing up. Like he was my coach when I was playing out here in the JFLW league. So, I mean, I guess I would say it's easier because I can always obviously ask him questions, and then he's the person I'm probably most comfortable with. So when he yells at me, or I'm never gonna feel flustered or anything. I'm comfortable because it's my dad.
Right.
So I would definitely say it makes me more comfortable, because I'm used to him coaching me. He's been yelling at me my whole life, so it's like, and then I know obviously he has the best interests in heart for me. So
right.
Definitely, I would say it's more comfortable.
All right, so we're at Westerville North, obviously your high school, on the field. In about a couple weeks, you'll be here playing Westerville Central. What do you think about them? What are you guys doing? What have you guys been doing to get ready for that game? That's obviously a big rivalry game. Last year's game was crazy. What is your mindset going into that game?
So I mean, our mindset, first and foremost, is to win. But the first thing my dad did was he installed. We got clocks in our locker room. We got clocks in our locker room, and it's the countdown to the game. And it's just what we've done, I guess you could say, differently is we talked about them. I mean, we talk about them. We mention them every practice. And I mean, I guess at the same time though, it's like we're not. I guess you say how we prepared for them. I mean, it's not nothing. I mean, obviously we prepared for their defense a little differently, but it's not nothing different than what we've been doing. It's just they're another opponent, and we take them obviously highly. We want to beat them, and South is our first two priorities. But I guess when you're saying game plan differently, I mean, we haven't really game planned them differently, I guess. So
you talked about Westerville South a little bit there too. Talk about them a little bit. Obviously, that's your other cross-town rivalry. Yeah. That's a team that I mean, you guys haven't beat in a long time. I can't remember.
I think it's been 17 years. 17 years that we beat South. Was it been since we beat South? 15 years.
Westerville South was 2005 and Westerville Central was 2003.
Oh, wow,
2005. All right, so 17 years, 2003, 2005.
Westerville Central.
Yeah, no, we beat Westerville Central one time in school history, since they've been opened in 03. So, but just talking about them, I mean, they got players, and we're not taking them for granted. I mean, I'm sure Nas, he's a player. Jason Gwen, he's a player. But we're prepared. We're more prepared. We're more ready than usual. Like I said, we got 2 clocks for the countdowns for both of those games, and we'll be ready when they come.
What are things that you guys are trying to do to kind of close that gap? Because obviously, you guys have been, it's been a pretty big gap
Yeah.
between the two of you. So is there something that you guys are doing, kind of in terms of like, program-wise, in terms of like establishing a different identity and a different culture, like in the locker room?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, the culture on this is completely flipped by now. Like it's flipped, and it's just, I would say it's just the pressure the coaches put on our shoulders. Like the practices are completely different, like compared to last year. Like the tempo is faster, and then my dad says something, says know your opponent. So he asks us these questions, and he'll have their formations drawn up on the locker. What's Central's base? 3-3 stack. That's the only thing I would say. Besides the culture that the new coaching staff has put in, it's a completely different mood around here. It's a completely different swagger, I would say, to close the gap. It's completely different confidence. I feel like that's the main thing. I'm probably biased, but I feel like there wasn't really as big. I don't feel like there was really a big skill gap between us last year. I think it's just the way we're prepared, the way we carried ourselves, the way we were coached to beat them. And so if I had to say that, what are we closing the gap with? Then it'd be our swagger. How we're coached. I feel like everyone on our team now knows we can beat these guys. Like maybe a couple of us had that confidence, in the year, and I can't speak for the prior years, but I'm saying last year on the team I was on, I just feel like, maybe not the whole team had that confidence or that swagger that we were going to go in and beat Westerville Central in the South. We have that now. Like, we're not, we know.
What's your role in that in terms of kind of changing things around where you have, like you said, that swagger and coming against with that confidence that you can be like that?
My role, is just being a leader for the guys. That's one of my biggest regrets last year. Is I just feel like I wasn't as vocal as a leader, around the team. So I feel like my point is just carrying myself in that way, there's a confidence that can't be swayed. At the end of the day, I'm the quarterback, Mostly the team's going to go off of the way I'm feeling, if I'm down and,
Right.
So I guess the way I feel like I'm carrying myself in a way better way this year, I have that confidence, more of a confidence and a swagger this year, I feel like that's the triple down effect that, is going to carry our team farther this year. And then obviously the leadership, that's, like I said, one of my biggest regrets last year is not being as vocal. I feel like I've been more vocal this year, with what has to happen, for us to win and move in that right direction, whether it's discipline, whether it's just acting the right way, whether it's the way we carrying ourselves. That's, what I think I play a big role in.
Yeah, for sure. And you got some time. Obviously, you got a lot of experience in your sophomore year. You're only about to start your junior year.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of other, younger guys that you don't have.
Sure.
I don't believe you have a ton of seniors.
No, we don't. We're a senior class.
So what are the things that, not just you, but also, some of those younger teammates, what are you trying to do this year to kind of help jumpstart, kind of that new era of Westerville North? And you guys have, a lot of time to, kind of leave a print here.
I think some of the things that, we've just done is, trying to let go of, because we've seen, at the end of the day, we saw the older ways, I've been here for 2 years, and I think just the difference, and the guy that me or Jake Cook or Jonathan Stevens Jr. is doing this year is like I said, I just feel like it's the way we're carrying ourselves, I think one of the biggest parts about, your football team is the way what you think about yourself. And I think if I had to say what are we doing differently as far as my 2025 class, and younger, I think it's just the new coaching staff, it's just been a triple down effect of we have that swagger, we know, we're here, and then, we've been, because I'm not going to say we're mentoring the younger group better, because I feel like my senior classes, I think the senior classes before also did a great job of that, so I don't think that's what it is. It's just the way we carry ourselves. I think it's hard to put into words, but
Coach Jackson said something a few months ago. Like I said, I was here for your college showcase back in April or May or however long ago it was. He said something. I overheard him talking to I think another coach. He said something about taking you guys down to Springfield. I think that was like in the end of June, and he said I want to see where we're at going up against a tougher team like Springfield just to see where we're at.
Yeah, of course.
Where do you think you were at on that day, and where do you think you're at now?
Oh man, we've taken, personally wise, I've taken tremendous leaps just in the games, slow it down as far as reading coverages has gone. I think that's where I've taken the biggest leap this far, and then just being more comfortable in the offense. But team-wise, I think it's just our confidence has grown. I think walking into the Springfield 7-on-7, we didn't know if we could do it. We didn't know if we could compete with the Springfields or the Gahannas or Pick Centrals, whatever you want to call the top programs of Central Ohio. I just think now the biggest difference from then and now is, we know, I think from the 7-on-7 that we had at the Cells, teams like Northmont, I just think that's the biggest difference is our confidence. And then obviously I think we've gotten more comfortable in the schemes and the offense. The coaches are throwing a lot at us. It's a great coaching staff and it's a lot of information that's being thrown. So I would just say the comfortableness and then how comfortable we are and then our confidence.
All right, and talk to me about some of the players that you guys have here. You've got a decent group of receivers, decent running game, some guys on defense. You also a couple of defenders actually. Both went to Kaufman, but still some pretty good players on defense. Talk about what you've seen from some of the guys around you and what they'll do for you guys this year.
Man, some of the guys, we got a couple. We got a lot of players. I think that's what's going to surprise people the most about us is we've got a lot of athletes over here, that I think people will be surprised about. So, just to name a couple on defense, Jonathan Stevens Jr., I think he's going to have, I'm sure some people know him, but he's going to have a really phenomenal year. He makes a couple plays in practice every day. He's like, whoa, or he'll close the gap or he'll close some space on me and be like, man, I got to be aware of him. And then, we got this kid, we got Trey McDonald and then Braylon Nolan. I don't know if you know him. Those are some guys on defense, that I look out for. And then we have Owen. Owen, he's a transfer from the Cells. I don't know why. I'm drawing a blank on Owen's last name, but he's another safety that, he's good, solid. He's about 6'3", length, and he's just another kid that he makes plays in practice. I think he had like 5 picks or something at the DeSales 7-on-7 in like one game or Central Crosses or something. And, he's just another player that makes plays. You're like, whoa, he's going to be. And then also one more, Austin Baker. He's a senior this year. He'll hit you. So we got a couple of players. And then offensive-wise, I'm sure you guys know Jake Cook. Jake Cook is going to be a player for us. Vari Adams, he's a basketball player that, he's playing football this year. And I think the best part about us this year is we're pretty deep. So, we have a lot of receivers that can go. So, we have Zeke Hunter, we have Will Solomon, and then Tyler Gober, just to name a few. And then, we have a sophomore, MC, he can go too. So, and then our backfield is pretty deep. Like we have, just today, we have John John's gonna be in the backfield. We got Lem Reynolds, Keelan Thread, and Caden. So we got guys that can go. Like I would think we'll be good, man. And then we have Bam. We call him Bam, but his name is like Janarius, man. So he's a right tackle. So you see I'm naming more than a few, but I just have so much confidence in this team, So to name a few, I have so much confidence in these guys, and I can keep going on. I think we're deep, man. I just have confidence in these guys.
Yeah, for sure. So, there's teams obviously every year that make huge jumps in the standings. standings and things like that. What does it take to have a turnaround, over one offseason like that? Obviously, I know you guys think you guys are capable of doing that. What do you guys have to do that this year?
Well, I haven't necessarily been through that jump, but I believe it's culture. I believe it's culture, and then I'm not going to draw a blank on this. I believe it's X and O's with coaches, and I think that's just, that's going to be, to be honest with you, I think that's going to be, and it's no knock on the O's because I love those guys, but that's just going to be the biggest difference this year is, Coach Rav mentioned, we call him the Wizard. Just the difference in X's and O's and the difference in the techniques we're taught and how disciplined we are, so if I had to name two things, I would say the biggest thing to turn around, I would say it'd be culture, and then the X's and O's with the coaches,
How deep do you guys expect to go? I've been talking to everybody and obviously, asking them, what are their expectations? And I've talked to, obviously, like I said, I talked to Caleb and he was like, oh yeah, we're going to win the city like all the city players do.
Yeah, of course.
I talked to Brennan and, they've got state title expectations.
Of course.
So, what's going on with you guys this year? I know, because everybody...
that's a tricky question, because it's hard to ask a guy of me like that, because I'm such a competitor. So of course I would say state title aspirations, but
right, everyone wants to win, right?
Yeah,
that's why we're here.
I'm such a competitor, so but I don't want to put too much pressure on my guys or nothing, but in all honesty, I'm gonna say I really think we can. I think we could.
Is an OCC title out of the question? You guys can win OCC?
Oh yeah, OCC title first. Let's all start with the OCC title, and then I think we can make a deep run in the playoffs. I'll leave it at that. Okay,
that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put no record stamps or nothing, but I would say OCC. I think we have a chance to compete for an OCC title and make a deep playoff run. We'll leave it at that.
All right.